Good afternoon, Larry Hunt here with Hunt Precision Car Inspections. Today we have a 2014 Prius 5 or Prius V with the 5 option package. That's the top of the line at the time. But first I wanted to touch on some driving impressions, driving over here from SRT Auto Sales here in King George. Drove very nice. It tracks straight, no pulling of the steering wheel, no shakes for wheels out of balance. The alignment seemed good. Braking was nice and straight. So yes, very nice driving. Air conditioning worked very well. Has the climate control air conditioning. So that was blowing nice and cold. It is a large space, so it does actually take a while for a smaller engined but big capacity car. So this is like your Prius minivan in space. So yeah, the cooling capacity might take a little bit to catch up with, but overall the driving impression was very nice. We'll do a quick video walk around here. So overall we'll do a quick walk around. It's nice and clean, no major dents. Your typical small scratches and door dings and stuff like that, but you're talking a 12-year-old car, so I don't really mark anything off for that. One of the things I do look for on a hatchback is this tailgate right here. If it's been used to load a lot of stuff, that gets scratched up quite easily, especially without a guard. So one of the first things I like to do is add a tailgate guard or a bumper guard right there. But so overall nice and, well, the body's clean, but it's dusty right now from all the pollen we have in the air. Looks like it might have a little bit of the typical clear coat fade on it. Not a big deal. A lot of times in the newer cars, this is all black. So you can actually touch this up with black and paint this whole spoiler black, and it'll actually all blend in and actually give it one of the more modern looks to it. So I did that on my daughter's car. Her CT200. We blacked out the roof, and that's who this is for. I'm doing a pre-inspection for my daughter that has the CT200. She loves the hybrid. She just needs more room. So yeah, overall, there's a little scrape there that may actually buff out. So nice and clean. And I did note in the Carfax it did have a front minor damage at one point, so perhaps they got a fresh bumper cover, because I don't see a whole lot of rock chips from the miles on this. So about the only thing that could really need to be reconditioned is do a thorough buff out on the headlights and clear coat them for protecting them from the UV damage. But you can see it has the parking sensors on it. Being the top of the line package, includes the alloy wheels too. And overall, very good shape. So the inside, overall very good shape, especially for a 2-owner vehicle that's 12 years old now. One of the things I like to check out is if they wore a hole through the floor mats. In this case, they don't have the floor mats in here, but yeah, there's no wear through into the carpet itself. That's kind of my small indicator. They didn't really care to fix things as they went wrong. Armrest isn't busted. Sometimes you get an elbow into these, it will crack the plastic inside. Dash is nice and clean. Steering wheel is nice and clean, showing no wear. That's another good sign. A lot of times people will twist their hand on that, and this gets a lot of sun heat, so it will dry rot and fall apart over time. But about the only real wear is on the plastics right here in the corners. But yeah, this has the option package with the front sensors and stuff like that. The JBL sound system. And I'm not a big fan personally of the center mount dash. It just takes getting used to. But it does leave you a nice big spot if you want a car top or a dash top CarPlay unit. I'm not sure if this has any type of CarPlay or Android Auto in it. It does have the seat heaters, USB and aux down there. It has the power mode and eco mode there for your EV. Nice deep armrest. Leather in very good shape. I actually see no wear on the leather. Again, no wear on the door panels, no stains. This a lot of times there's a tiny bit of wear right here. This is probably the worst wearing spot on your leather seats, is the driver's seat getting in and out. Back seat the same, no wear and tear. I want to say these are also reclining. Yep, reclining back seats. And then I'm 6'2". I was just driving it, and I still got 6'2" leg room here in the back. So this is a big selling point for these Prius 5s. Just gobs of room. They actually, I think they're classified as a large car, even though it's a Prius chassis vehicle. So again, yeah, tons of room. Great for 4 people, full space for 4 people. It does have the rear cargo mat, so that's a nice to have that. The missing front mats, I'd probably just go and get you some, pick up some WeatherTech mats, some all-weather mats. But yeah, tons of room. I'm guessing like 3 foot tall space here and like almost 4 foot wide entry with the cargo cover there. Again, clean door panels, no stains. Looking up at the ceiling, sometimes there's stains and splatters, exploding sodas and stuff, but this one seems nice and clean. And this again has the option package with the full dual sunroof. It's kind of neat. I haven't ever driven a dual sunroof car. And nice and clean, no wear and tear on the edges, so they must not have had a passenger a whole lot. It was a Northern Virginia car, so probably used for a lot of commuting and then weekend family work. That's about it. We'll revisit the engine and the Carfax. I did want to say, check the tires. These actually look like they're about due. This is your tread wear bar right here, and we're right down to the last, actually right in the middle there. It's actually gone down, so yeah, I could use a set of tires. But what I do look for is a brand name tire that they did not put on the cheap Chinese junk, the $50 tires. They actually spent a little bit more. This is still an affordable tire, this Goodyear Reliant. It's like an $80 tire, but it is a Goodyear, so a better name than Black Mile or Mileage Maker and stuff like that. So I kind of look on this as they did the extra care of putting in a higher quality tire. And the backs are almost brand new, so I'm curious if they only replaced the back tires. That's a 2022 date code, and these are 2022. So yeah, they're on at the same time. I think they never rotated the tires, so the fronts are about worn out and the backs look almost brand new. So I'm surprised the oil change places didn't actually note that to them, because these are down on the tread bars. It needs a front pair of tires. But also check that your tire dates are not older than, say, 7 years. Even if they got tread, they're basically aged out at 7 years. And these are 2022, so they're only just over, just getting to 4 years. So they should be good to go. Some curbage on the wheels, not a big deal. You just want to make sure that there's no major dents in the wheel that could cause an out of balance condition. So yeah, that looks not too bad. We may negotiate for a set of front tires, mounted and balanced. Those tires will probably be $100 each, so $200 for the same brand. So I'll go grab the Carfax, and we will also pop the engine bay. Stand by. So here we have the engine on this Prius 5 2014. This is your very common Toyota 1.8 with the hybrid drive system on it. Couple of things I check: make sure your oil is up and clean, which it is. Engine coolant is nice and bright pink. So that's one of the things to look at on these, is that the coolant's been done, and then the inverter coolant has been done. So those are two nice bright pink. It does have a lot of service records, but they don't note the details such as that they got down. They just say service performed. So you'd probably have to contact the dealer to see if there's actually what that entailed. But in this case, symptoms, they seem to indicate you got it's been serviced. Another thing to look for is that the brake fluid is nice and clear. Well, relatively clear for brake fluid, but at least not black. That's one of the services that often get overlooked. If they listen to the mechanic shops, when they did the brakes, they would ask for a brake flush. In that case, they would put through all new brake fluid and get rid of the old stuff. So it looks like that's been done. So yeah, all in all, looks pretty good. And that checks off a couple more boxes that the coolant has been completed. So that's a good sign. That's one of the top ones. If those get abused, it can actually cause a EGR failure and a head gasket. That's another thing to check, is the EGR status. You'd have to go contact the dealer and see if they did the EGR clean on it or not. So here's a quick overview checklist for this particular model car. It got very good ratings overall, 85% recommend it. Here's the issue with the EGR clogging, overheating, and head gasket failure that would result in rough start and shaking and coolant loss through the cylinders and without leaking. And so we need to check on that EGR system if it's been cleaned. The hybrid inverter recall, I did check that all the recalls have been done. The hybrid battery, it seemed to be charging fine. We'll have to check it again on the way back over there, see if we can get it to go all the way, capacity go all the way topic up to like 80% on the short drive over here. So we'll see. We'll do a lot of slow driving and engine braking to see if it will get charged all the way up. No issues with the brake booster actuator, no noises. The pedal was nice and strong, no warning lights, so that's a good one. No electrical quirks. All the windows worked, the AC worked good. No clunks in the transmission. I know some of the Lexus had some bearing noises, but no bearing noises, no vibration. So that's all good. I'll go ahead and put my X-Tool scanner on it and see how it checks out. But one of my favorite things to look at is get a gist of the care of the car is the Carfax. And this was a two previous owners. I also like to see that the owners were very long. So the first one was 7 years, the next one was 6 years. So they owned it for quite a while, 6 years and five years. So they didn't buy it and flip it right away because something felt like it was going wrong. So that's a good sign. Just two owners. One owner is always better, of course, but two owners in this case looks good. It does note minor damage to the front, but like we showed earlier, it seemed to have been repaired. Perhaps it just damaged the bumper plastic and they got a new bumper. But what I enjoy seeing is stuff like this. Serviced, 10K, 5K, 10K, 17K, 22K, 25K, 27K, 33K, and then also at the dealer. So they probably went back to their original where they bought the car and serviced it there regularly. So over and over again, regular maintenance. I thought it was curious they kept on checking off a floor mats checked. I think this may trace to the sudden acceleration issue years ago when they claimed the car was accelerating on its own, and some of it turned out to be the floor mats crumpling up underneath the gas pedal, and the brake pedal, so it wasn't braking as strong as it should have. So yeah, every time they go in, they got floor mats checked. So yeah, this says service record, service, and the dealer is a plus having at the dealer. And then the second owner bought in 2020 at the original dealer. They must have traded it in, and second owner in Virginia, and didn't maintain it at the dealer, but at least had it service. Nothing about major repairs or anything. It's all just oil filter changes, service performed. Here they go back to Toyota in Springfield, and then Walmart, Toyota, Walmart. So again, regular service. So that's a huge benefit on a high quality, long lasting car like this. If it's been serviced regularly, I wouldn't doubt this car is a easily 300k 400k mile car with this kind of care starting off. So that's a big plus. I put a lot of value on that. So yeah, overall, very impressed. I'll put my X-Tool diagnostics on it, see if it sees any codes. But otherwise, it seems very good. Again, this is the Prius 5 wagon. I call it Prius V, but the 5 option package. They had 2, 3, 4, and 5 as their levels, and this is the top of the line. And so yeah, all the options on it. So yeah, I'd say this is a very good value, very good price, and did an AI check to compare to, and Edmunds.com is one of my favorite, and all came through a very, very good asking price. So again, I'll throw my diagnostic on it as a final check, and we'll go from there. I'm sure my daughter will be happy with this review. Well, I did a quick power wash on it and found a couple of things. Looks like it's been touched up a couple of times here with a paint that's not quite the right color, or it wasn't sprayed thoroughly with the top coat, because this almost looks like a base coat underneath it. And then up top, hard to see while it's still wet, but yeah, there's a lot of crazing in the black plastic / paint. I'm not sure, it must be plexiglass or something like that, because this is clear right here and it's all one piece. So that hasn't been touched, so that would explain the clear coat fading back here, and also no water beading. So I think for some reason, like a lot of owners, even ones that take care of the maintenance, they don't wax or detail the car. So stuff like this happens, of the clear coat drying out and falling off the car, or the top getting dried out and cracking. So I would ding it a little bit for that, but I'm very attentive to those details of taking care of the paint. But yeah, you can see where it's drying, it's all kind of gray faded. Actually, it's just that spot, so that spot is gray faded. We'll give it a quick dry and see how it looks. So yeah, now it's dried off. You can see how much it's faded. It's got to be like a plexiglass clear coat on top of, because it's see-through right here and it's black right here. So this may actually, you might be able to do like with your headlights, take a superfine sandpaper and basically sand off the oxidized top coat and then repolish it all. I would expect it to be pretty thick, because like I say, it's got the sunroof section right here. But you can see it goes all the way through to the glass, the same type of oxidation, drying. So yeah, no matter how clean your car is and how much maintenance you do, make sure you still do get it detailed about once a year. If you want to do it right early on, within 6 months of buying it, get it fully detailed and get a ceramic coating on it. And that way you won't have to really worry about the waxing aspect for upwards of 5 years. If you garage it, it'll last like 5 years. If it's out in the open, it'll last a good 3 years. So this ceramic coat is definitely nicer, taking care of the sealing in the paint, basically. So that's another word of wisdom for you. A final wrap-up video on this 2014 Prius 5. Did a code read. It has a P0607 code, which appears to be connected with the 12-volt starting battery. Perhaps the amp hour isn't up, so the voltage is low for too long after startup. So it's a couple $100 there. That's about the only code it had, and it was also in the history, so it's been on for a little bit. Also, a peek underneath, the rust looks pretty good. Seems typical of Virginia, just some surface rust, especially around the edges. And another thing I spotted was the sway bar end links. The boots are also torn, so that will actually be a failure for Virginia inspection. So that's another couple $100 job on this Prius. So I was deducting 200 for the battery replacement, 200 for the end links, the sway bar end links, front tires like 300, and then the roof oxidation, severe oxidation. That's going to take some paint restoration and probably a ceramic coating to preserve it. So that was like $500 to $600. So that's what I would talk to this dealer about for a discount off the asking price. Thank you for your time. Good morning. So I wanted to do a final wrap up on this 2014 Prius 5 I test drove. You've seen in this video so far. We were ready to close the deal on it, and while driving it down to pick up a cashier's check, it threw a code. Well, this code turned out to be a common indicator of the brake booster actuator, the accumulator. It uses an electric brake system, so the motor runs to maintain pressure. So when you get into the car, it already has brake pressure built up. So some research of that shows it actually is a $1,500 or so part and like $500 to $1,000 install. One of the symptoms of that, and I noticed it while driving the car, while doing the video on the car, is the booster, the accumulator pump keeps running, and that's because of that bleed down. It bleeds off the pressure, so the pump has to keep kicking on. They actually had an extended warranty on these to cover that for 10 years or 150,000 miles. So going back and looking at the Carfax again, I wanted to show you this as a possible tip of what's going on and what we could see in the Carfax. So as you see here, last August, on the Carfax, they had it into Springfield, Toyota, at 157,030 miles. It just says serviced. It doesn't give us any details. Then they had it back again just 12 days later, after about 400 more miles, also to Toyota of Springfield, a vehicle serviced again. It doesn't actually just say what the service was. And then 2 days later, they had it back again at Pit Stop Auto Repair. Vehicle serviced again, doesn't say what it was. And then just 8 days later, back at Toyota Springfield, vehicle offered for sale. So what I'm thinking is they had into Toyota. Looks like was almost due for an oil change, perhaps both. Maybe it threw a code, and they had the oil change, but they also threw a code and had an oil change. They cleared the code, crossing their fingers that would take care of it, and we're talking about that brake booster accumulator. So they got about 400 miles out of it before they were back again at Toyota. Sorry, it's a little breezy here, blowing my papers around. So they had it back again. They probably got a huge quote for like $2,000, $2,500 for repair. So they take it to another repair place for a second opinion, and they probably got the same quote, but I'm guessing that they cleared the code too, and then within like 300 miles the code returned, so they went back to Toyota Springfield and traded in on something newer. So that's my reading between the lines of all this service work done so close together, is that this was a code and expensive quote that they got. So all in all, I'd say a decline, tell the buyer not to buy this one unless they could work in that cost. If they can get it for about $2,000 less than previously agreed, then you could possibly swing the the repair for that accumulator pump. And there is a YouTube video, so the work doesn't look too hard, but it does take factory parts. There's no aftermarket parts for this, so you're paying Toyota prices for your parts. So all in all, I'd say is my car inspection would rate this as a do not buy unless price could be negotiated to account for the repair. Thank you for your time. We'll see you out there.